Good evening here on the Central Riverhawks YouTube channel. I'm Joel McCall, visiting now with Haley Williams. She is the head coach for the Central Riverhawk volleyball team as they finished their season last Thursday at DeForest on an 0-3 loss in a regional first round. First of all, Coach Williams, thank you so much for taking the time and talking with me tonight. Appreciate it.
Oh, thank you for always doing this. We appreciate you a lot.
Yeah, definitely. We get to kind of recap the full season. We'll start with that loss at DeForest because I know we weren't able to talk. I wanted to give you the opportunity to spend time with your seniors. You had come over and asked me to do that, and I said, "Yeah, absolutely." That made a lot more sense to me than trying to come over and talk while we're on the floor and everything else. So I'm sure you had a nice visit with the kids afterwards. You know, the offense and really the blocking, I felt like couldn't really quite be on point against DeForest. Also, their offense just started rolling. I don't know what the deal was, but it happened a couple of times throughout the season anyway. You saw some of the best performances by some of those players. Maddie Mitchell, of course, went off for, I had her for 21, official box score had her for 20. I did think Laurel Erickson played really well on the back line. I thought she had some really good digs and diving, but you know, it was a tough match, and especially when you get an opponent that can come out and just start hitting the ball as cleanly as they were.
Yeah, that outside, we knew she was going to be one of their biggest threats. They were a kind of a fun, interesting team to scout because they do some different things. Like that outside will come and set for 2 rotations and serve receive. And so we were trying to work on that and focusing on playing against them. And it was, I thought, yeah, same with their blocking. Especially Gerhard, usually one of our top blockers, was having a hard time against that outside, but that outside deserves lots of credit. She doesn't look like she could jump as high as she does, but she gets in the air and she finds the spots. And we were shifting our defense a little bit to take away that hard line shot and shifted Laurel a little bit to pick up those crosses. And we had some really good moments. We just couldn't all put it together when we wanted to. And I felt like our offense really struggled too. And our serve receive started on, and we still weren't able to put balls away. And then our serve receive started to fall a little bit. And so it just wasn't our night. DeForest is a good team. It was fun to play them again. And it was still a good end to an awesome season.
Well, and again, they were so kind to us as well to be there and to cover everything and had a spot for us. And I know that they ended up losing against Wanakee 3-0. So DeForest was out as well on Saturday. But you finished overall 11-18, 3-9 in the MVC. As I said, there were some games there that, like, I went back and was watching or listening to some of the Sparta match where you guys came back from 0-2 to win 3-2. And even in that night, Faulkner goes off for Sparta, and I think she had over 25. So it was like every single time it seemed like, you know, you got some of the best performances out of some of the conference teams. However, there was a lot of positives this year too, as a season as a whole.
Yeah, again, we talked a lot about at the beginning of the season, the chemistry and little drama we had too. The girls just really wanted to get better every day. And I kind of just described it as like we got hot at the wrong time. You know, we should have taken that Aquinas win and really built off of it. But unfortunately, the opposite happened with some tough conference losses that we should have had that could have helped our record. But we were overall still pretty young. I mean, we're losing some pretty big, irreplaceable players for us. But I'm just excited to see what the offseason does. But again, it was just a fun season, and they just did not give up ever. And for me as a coach, I just could not ask for more. And I really loved coaching this team this year. It's going to be a hard season to replace.
Well, as you said, some big wins, snapping that long losing streak to Aquinas, and actually the home MVC home losing skid that you had for, I think, over a season,
Yeah.
season plus or so. That was the 2 biggest ones that I was thinking of. You know, the Aquinas, I know we weren't there to cover it, but my goodness, for the girls, especially the seniors, that is something that they'll never forget.
Yeah, I don't think that's anything we'll ever forget. And I just hope it changes their mindset going into play them every time too. And those other wins will come if we just keep trusting the process, a word I used a lot this year. And really this group started to change the culture of Central volleyball towards the better. And I'm just excited to see the growth our program's gonna make from here on out.
Well, before we start talking about the growth next year, we have to talk about those that are leaving, which is, it's not the biggest senior group, but you have plenty that put in the time, energy, help build this program. Ruby Gearhard, Alyssa Brixon, Grace Hunt, and then Shayla Yang is the other one. The two bigs in the middle, that's the best. Those two have left their mark on the program with Brixon and Gearhard.
Yeah, they all four of them were fun to watch play. We also had a manager, Callie Arenz, who will be graduating too. They taught me a lot about myself as a coach too, and just their commitment and leadership. All five of them this year was really special to see. Like Brixon really took Ella Crawford under her wing, for example, and just that senior freshman bond. And I know Ruby did the same too, and just like Grace, you like any moment you need to laugh, she is the go-to girl. She can just come up with anything and you're just gonna smile around her. And Shayla was our little energizer bunny, always given 100% in practice, on the bench in games. Took advantage of her opportunities when she got them. And then again, Callie too, really helping us with our energy throughout this year. I'm sad to lose them all. It's a hard group to lose. But they're gonna go on and do amazing things.
Yeah, Gearhard will play at the next level in Iowa, so I'm thrilled over that, of course. And then, I think of Shayla Yang, and I just smile because I loved her cheering section for senior night. I just loved that. It was so fun to see for senior night. And then, well, the next steps we've talked about this year being the foundation, to pour the cement, to grow a program, and those seniors, they left an indelible impression. And so I think that cement has been poured. Now it's to build the walls and start moving up. And as you said, beating Aquinas and taking that next year and not falling short against a Sparta or a Toma when you're up in the matches and finishing those. You have a big junior group that's going to come back for their senior run. They got to get in the gym, get their leaps. I think one of the best things that all of them could do is get their verts. And I think they actually talked about that, even with NAMI throughout the year, that's really one of the biggest things that they talked about was we want to improve our vertical jump. And I really hope that they're able to do that, but it's not just about the performance of doing those types of things. It's also the mentality of coming back next year. And this is our team now and our group.
Mm-hmm. And we're really thankful that 2 out of our 3 captains were juniors this year, Sierra and Laurel, and all of these underclassmen and returners, our 5 returners, especially from last season, really put in the work this off season and to try to get everybody involved, working hard. So I'm very thankful for that. Coach Olson and some of his staff run an awesome winter lifting and speed program that we're going to just keep pushing to. We're going to offer some time in the weight room as well, getting in that off season. But yeah, again, just really getting that buy-in, starting with this 8th grade group coming up to be freshmen next year, and working with our middle school coaches and our spring league and everything. Like, these girls got to put the impression on them just so we can really build our program, because we can't do it with just our returners. We're going to need other players to step up in our program and just keep growing.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of senior groups that left the MVC. Logan only had one that wasn't a senior on their entire roster. You talk about Holman, who's still performing. They have a ton of seniors that are leaving the program. Onalaska's the same way. So if there's a program that could slide up and move their way up the ladder, I think it's you guys moving forward. But as you said, you have to do the work in the off season. And I'm looking forward to coming back next year and covering the Riverhawks again for volleyball, as long as the school will have me, I guess. But I'm looking forward
we will fight for you, Joel.
Well, I appreciate that. And thank you for all your time and all the emails, the text messages, and letting us talk to the girls too. That's always important as well. I know NAMI really enjoyed those interviews.
Yeah, and they really enjoyed it too. And again, we can't thank you guys, and also Ray too, for being on the camera and traveling, especially for our games too. It was really fun, and I know all of our YouTube fans enjoyed watching us and hearing your play-by-play. So thank you.
Yeah, you bet. I know some of the MVC teams are a little jealous of what you got here for volleyball coverage. Well, that's Haley Williams, the head coach for the Central Riverhawk volleyball team. I'm Joel McCall. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will have football on Friday night at Wanakee. Other than that, we're pretty much dark this week. So that's good because I got a lot to work on. Thank you for tuning in.